I think most people are misled because they do not know Uguti, there are different types of agencies.
True.
There are agents that represent professional actors. There are agencies that represent beginners. There are agencies that represent background artists or models or whatever. So generally, the agent work is to wait for briefs and suggest your actors. But because times have changed now also, if you look at the dynamics of the industry, even the producers are becoming younger and younger. They want to refer to your IMDb, they want to refer to your LinkedIn, they want to
Yeah.
refer to your Instagram.
Yeah.
So a normal CV that my agent is going to send to a producer will not sell me because it's just a black and white headshot
Yeah.
with a CV to say I studied drama.
Yeah.
But what else is exciting
Is
about
there?
Obey? Because
Yeah.
like there's like a million people that we can,
Exactly.
you know, you know, yay!
Unscripted Moments with Bukamina Cebekhulu. It's a podcast, y'all.
Hello, guys. Hello, good people. Welcome back to Unscripted Moments with Bugamina Cebekhulu. Remember, this is a loving family home. We are here to talk about serious things, to talk about entertainment, to talk about life in general. I ngihamba ngedo. Ngihamba nomuntu enimthandayo. I get asked a lot of questions by you guys about how to get into the industry, what happens in the industry, and the person I have today will answer some of those questions for you guys. He is a casting director, a talent agent. He represents professional actors in film, television, stage, industrial theatre, corporate events, commercials, and voiceovers. Trinity Management is one of the few top actors agencies that are 100% black owned in South Africa. So angihamba no Obey Muchipisi.
Sawubona, Bugamina.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's get to it. Thank you so much for coming through.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Ngifuna ukwazi before nje we get into the actual work that you do
Yes.
and the actual work that we love you for.
Yeah.
I want to know who Obey is. Where is Obey from? Does Obey have siblings? Who is Obey?
Wow. It's so funny. Nobody has ever asked me that, but yeah, Sisila Manj. Originally, I'm from Zimbabwe. I was born in a province called Manicaland in Zim. I grew up in Harare until I was like a teenager. Then I moved to South Africa in Mpumalanga. I was staying with my aunt. But the move was for me to focus into television studies because as much as we had television studies in Zim, the industry itself didn't have a lot of opportunities for exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So mhlambe ke you would probably end with news reading on radio or on television or writing magazines, but it wasn't something that I really wanted because being famous. You know, when you're a teenager, it's just like, I want that.
Yes.
You see, that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt is
Right,
doing.
and I can do that too.
Yes. But because obviously in those ages, we had a lot of sharing of print media between Zim and South Africa. So there was still a magazine called People Magazine. So we get to learn about South African industry and how big it was. So I was so attracted to coming to South Africa. So yeah, I came here, eventually moved to Johannesburg, and yeah, started being on the streets like everybody.
Like everybody else. I saw you also went to varsity. Did you go to varsity here or?
Both.
Both.
So I started television in Zim, and then I started drama this side.
This side.
Yeah.
So, did you start acting before you got into? Because I know you do casting.
Yes.
He was a casting director for Isbaya, Gqeberha, The Herd.
Quite a
the
few,
list goes
yeah.
on. It's quite a few.
Yeah.
So, I know you're also an actor, but I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out which one came first. Which bug came first?
So the deal was that I have to be on screen. That was my deal. So what then happened is when I moved to Joburg after like finishing studying, I didn't realize that I had a thick Zimbabwean accent because obviously, I mean, I just came from Zim. I'm
Yeah,
like, hey, yeah,
yeah.
that's who I am, you know. And I wasn't even bothered by not knowing my languages. But then when I got into the stream of things, I realized that Uti, it was such a big thing. Like I would be typecast as a Zimbabwean guy, I'll be typecast as a Nigerian guy or whatever. And that's not really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it it took me back with a couple of steps, but I had to figure out what to do. So I had just joined one of the top at that point acting agencies in Johannesburg. So because I was being papa cool. So whenever they send me to a place where there's an opportunity, I'll try to find out who to bano petela so I can ask Uguti.
Oh.
So if I've auditioned for you before,
Yeah.
what do you think about me? So I started getting feedback,
Yeah.
forced feedback. That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to do. So eventually my agent was like, hey, you know what, actually, Mhlampe come to the agency and help out whilst you're looking for an acting job and whatever. So actually sitting in the agency made me kind of aware of why I wasn't being booked and what were the clients looking for, what was my competition. And because I spent a lot of time with my agent, I started working there, and that's how the whole agent thing happened.
Came about.
Yeah, so it wasn't my intention to become an agent. It was like
It just so
it
happened.
just so happened. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? Actually, I've been doing this. I've been working with my agent.
Yeah.
And Ngakona, my agent, the same building that they had a casting director at the back. So I would temp for my agent and temp for the casting director. So this is happening at the same time.
And you're learning these new skills
New
at the
skills
same
at the same time. And it also opened my eyes with actually, instead of me chasing acting so much, let me use other elements of what I studied. So I started opening up to other things, being a writer. I actually got to be a writer more than an actor. I worked for top shows, and yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That's how I got there.
That's how you got into that side of the industry.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing to talk about, because a lot of the times young people that are studying, they think once I get my degree, this is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Nothing else on the side. And I like that you talked about doing other things and interning, and you don't when after getting a degree doesn't mean you're going to get a high paying job.
No, not at all.
A lot of people at home, a lot of kids, a lot of young adults think that once I get my degree, I'm getting a high paying job. You need to start somewhere. You need to
really
make a
need to.
plan for yourself.
Yeah.
Even if it's something you yourself don't like doing. For example, I was in production.
Yeah.
I did production coordinating, and I am not a fan of production coordinating.
But you had to do it.
But you had to do it because
Yeah.
you need to find a way to get into where
Exactly.
exactly you want to
Exactly.
be.
Yeah.
I love that. So when you decide, ukuthi yazi ukuthini, I've interned, I've followed these people,
Yeah.
it's time for me to have my own agent. How did that come about?
Well, you know what? It was such a hard decision because also I think in general starting a business
Yeah.
is such a mission.
It's scary too.
It's very scary,
Yo.
and especially in our industry where nothing is really stable and you have to just take the leap of faith. So what had happened was time. So I was working on Generations as a writer. I was working with Blackbrain as a writer, and I was working for my agent. Right?
Oh, at the same time.
At the same time. So now, how to balance it became a thing that if Generations wants me for a story meeting, I need to be there.
Yeah.
You know, if Blackberry needs me for a story meeting, I need to be there. My agent need me to sit in the office and book people.
That
You
is
know what I
always
mean?
the situation in this industry. That is so true.
So yeah, it became very tricky for me to be like, ish, what do I do? How do I manage my time? And it was that part, manage my time. So that's when I had the thought, I'm like, you know what, actually, since I still kind of have a contract with this production company and that production company, I can just try to see if I can stand alone and manage my own time.
Sure.
Ngapa, you thinking the salary is gonna go, and you're just
Yo.
working on a freelance contract.
And you're just starting
Nah,
something new there.
You're starting something new, kudingeka offices, people to work for you.
Exactly.
It was a lot, but I think I became selfish about my art that I had to do it.
Of course.
I had to do it. We opened the agency. At that point, thank God I had a very supportive partner. Was also in the industry, and it's like, you know what, actually, let's do it. As long I had to make sure that I had paid off my car. One thing had to
take
be paid
everything
off.
else, but not my car. I feel
Because
you.
at least with the car, you can still go to meetings,
Exactly.
and you know what
I
I
can
mean.
even sleep in it if
My
I'm
point
forced to.
exactly. So time management was the
Yes.
factor that pushed me to start my own thing.
To start your own thing.
Yeah.
And now you've started your own thing, and here comes the questions of the industry was different back then. The industry is different now.
Yes. Yes.
What qualifications do people need to get into an agent? Do they need qualifications, or anyone can just get into an agent?
So I think it's all about knowing how it works first. I think most people are misled because they do not know Uguti, there are different types of agencies.
True.
There are agents that represent professional actors. There are agencies that represent beginners. There are agencies that represent background artists or models or whatever. So I think once you have acquainted yourself with that information, uthi mina kahle kahle ngifuna ukuba i-model, I want to be on jet stores,
Yes.
pictures and
Yeah.
whatever, then you get to an agency that actually does that. So then they will also inform you on what their requirements are. I mean, I know with model agencies, with guys, you need to be 1.8 meters. You must look some certain way. With girls, you must be 1.7. If you're an actor and you want to be considered for acting roles, you have to go to an acting agency. And most actor agencies, they either want you to have studied drama at a degree or diploma level, or you could be somebody who has actually gotten luck and you've been in the industry for at least 3 years. So you don't have the qualification, but you actually have the experience, right? And then other people consider other factors, like you'd find out Uti, that person doesn't have qualifications, but that's a child star that was presenting your TV for 100 years.
For years, so they have
so
some form of
they already have a
experience.
step in and whatever. So I think qualification-wise, BA drama or live performance for real acting stuff. If you want to get into the industry slowly, other people I would suggest that they start with like background or character agencies where they send you for cameo roles where you speak one word or whatever, because being on set actually just gives you a bit of experience. Just then maybe they notice you, they start making you the barman with lines.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think research on the kind of agency that you want to be in, depending on what you want to be, is mostly important actually. Yeah.
And you've spoken about these different kinds of agencies. What do agencies make you pay money? And these questions I'm asking you actually are not even from me.
Yeah.
It's questions I get a lot.
Yeah.
So I figured you're the perfect person to answer these questions. Do agencies make you pay money for you to join them?
Yes and no.
Please elaborate for us.
So professional actor agencies, they don't make you pay because basically they make money after booking you. So the money that they make is whatever the percentage could be the 10% or the 20%. You coming in as a professional, obviously you must give that agent the tools of how to sell you. So which means your CV is up to date, your headshots are up to date, your showreel is up to date. So you're good with an acting agency. The agencies that make people pay are usually extras agents. Sometimes they try to quantify or qualify why they make a charge. Some that I know, they would say, okay, it's registration on the books, and then we're going to take your photographs for you. So it's a service that they're giving to you. um, those are the ones that are genuine, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of see where the money is going.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are others, unfortunately, in Joburg, there's so many of them that make you pay whether they're going to book you or they're
Or
not going to book
not.
you. And then after a year, you have to vuseleli contract, ngenye
And you have to
imali
pay imali
phezulu, you
ngaphezulu,
know. Yeah,
yes.
so I mean, it's a touch and go thing because I'm sure you're aware that our industry is not really regulated.
No.
So it's not like I'm gonna go to the police and say my agent made me pay 300
At
rand
all.
because they can counter and say, yeah, but that's how we work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You-
So
when you
actually
entered, yeah.
up to you to see if it's ridiculous or not. But otherwise, we work in an ungoverned community of entertainment, and people do whatever they want
As they please.
Yeah.
And it sucks, shame, because you find young kids or people that just got out of varsity saying, I just got an agent, but they want me to pay over 1,000. And I'm like,
Yes,
1,000?
Yes.
And you
yeah,
don't even have that 1,000. And you need an
Yeah.
agent to actually find work.
Yeah.
My next thing is, once you have signed someone into an agent, what do you as an agent do? What is the work that you do behind the scenes? Because what I get a lot from people, they say, hi, agent Amina, they have favorites. Agent Am is not paying attention to me. And I always say, I always wonder, what work do agencies do behind the scenes that we as actors don't know about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, agent styles are different. And I say this because I think because I was a performer first
Yeah.
and then agent next, I kind of figured out how it worked for me, right? So on a day-to-day, agents in a bigger scale of things, they have to be sending like your profile as an actor to different production companies.
Yeah.
To say, hey, Snobuga Mina, she speaks isiZulu, she's done this and whatever, she's on the market and whatever. But certain agents find that to be management, not agent work,
Oh, okay.
which is totally different.
Yeah.
So in a normal setting, an agent would have to wait for a brief to
Yeah.
come from a scandal to say we're looking for a black female or Zulu and whatever. Then they send your CV. But then again, how long are you going to wait for to get the brief?
Of course.
Then that management style of being an agent has to kick in, where you have to, as an agent, go knock those doors and say, hey, I know you guys at Chesa Pictures are doing whatever. I have this actress. She did an audition. Do you want to see a tape? And whatever. But it only takes an agent that have the initiative to actually do it, to say, actually, namhlanje on Wednesday, you're
Yeah.
my actors one.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd find out other agents don't even want to do that because it's time consuming, it's resources consuming, but then it's up to you on how you run your business if you want to be in foregoing, like
Yeah.
literally just say, actually, I'm going to go and find the work myself because, I mean, briefs, if you look at production companies, when they are conceptualizing characters or a show, they have an idea of who they want.
Yeah.
Right? So, mhlampe ke bafuna Obey, they wouldn't know ukuthi there's another person that can actually supersede Obey if no one is selling that person.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's how you find that you have just the same person in everything. Yeah.
Yes. So generally the agent work is to wait for briefs and suggest your actors. But because times have changed now also, if you look at the dynamics of the industry, even the producers are becoming younger and younger. They want to refer to your IMDb, they want to refer to your LinkedIn, they want to refer to your Instagram.
Yeah.
So a normal CV that my agent is going to send to a producer will not sell me because it's just a black and white headshot
Yeah.
with a CV to say I studied drama.
Yeah.
But what else is exciting
Is
about
there?
Obey? Because
Yeah.
like there's like a million people that we
Exactly.
can, you know, so
Exactly.
yeah.
So what I'm getting from this is that you guys do the work. You send people's pictures, you send people's profiles, and it's up to the person who's hiring to pick the people they want.
Yes.
So it's not that your agent has favorites. It's that the person that is picking
Yes.
would like the same people.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So the process really is agent will send to casting director. Casting director will pick out of the 10 that we've sent, let's say, they will pick 5.
Yeah.
And mind you, that's from one agent. They still have to pick other 5 from a different
Other
agent
agencies,
and whatever.
yeah.
Then they do the first round of auditions, which will lead to callbacks, which is lesser people again. You might actually find out that one agent didn't even go get anyone on the short list,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but your friend happens to be in a different agency and you got a a callback
Yeah.
shortlisted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like understanding how it works, because you will get those calls from actors that, yeah, but Bugamina was shortlisted and I'm a better actor, or
And it's
she's
like,
younger than me. And then it's like, but
exactly.
I don't know what they're looking for.
Exactly. I just did my part.
You know, and then obviously with production, they might like Ubugamina or Bugamina's friend, but there's still the last level, which is channel.
True.
They decide whether we like the actor or what.
Or not,
They're
yeah.
the one who'll be like, actually, for this brand, no.
Yes.
Actually, she auditioned for a lead. Let's try Nes Banbani as a supporting lead. Yeah.
Talking about channel, I want to ask this question. When it comes to a channel, I've heard things or stories where a channel would not work with someone because they're, for example, I'll make myself an example. It's not that it happened, but I'm making an example, people.
Just putting it out there.
I'm putting it out there. So you'll find that, let's say, Mina, I'm mostly SABC.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to work with other channels. And you'll find that you'll get a no from other channels and they'll say Muntuga SABC.
Yes.
You find I'm trying to get Netflix. You'll find a no with Netflix because they say Umuntu Mzansi Magic.
Yeah.
What is that process like? Is that true? Does that happen in the industry? And
So-
is that even fair? Because
So I don't want to be the one who said yes, it happens.
yeah.
But I just want to explain it on a business point of view. On a business point of view, if somebody's associated with a certain brand, it makes the other person feel some type of way, because removing you from that brand to rebrand you to my brand is such a mission.
Yeah.
Right? So there is some kind of work that happens with broadcasters or channels where they have to sit and look at certain actors and say, actually, Ubugamina is really an SABC brand, guys. Even if we give a lead, people will recognize her as a Muvango face. You know,
Which
then-
I'm not anymore, guys. It's been a full year, so I'm no face of nothing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then marketing would probably come in and say, Ash, we would have to work harder with this character because we're giving it to this actor. So that means the budget might have to be up for them to sell your face now for that specific broadcaster. Because
Interesting.
so then as a business, you kind of weigh your options. Uti, should I go for Bukamina or go for Obey? Because Obey is already here. He was on that Mzansi or whatever that is not SABC. So let's just go with him.
Yeah.
You know, I know there are talks of people possibly being like blacklisted and whatever, but it's literally, I would like to say it's a business,
Yeah.
unless if there are any underlying issues that maybe the actor might not know or whatever, in which case I think that's when the agent also comes in. I think it's always advisable, if actors feel like they have auditioned for this specific broadcaster or production company and they feel like it's not moving, that's when you ask your agent to either ask for a meeting, to ask these questions like, guys, I've auditioned for this broadcaster, or for you guys as a production company.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere I can improve myself?
I
You
like
mean a loyal, or
yeah.
is it the look that I'm giving you guys? Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's the look, you know.
Right?
It's the look.
And
you-
my
you-
self-tapes are
you
the
come
most
in.
horrible thing
Yes,
to do.
because you
Yeah.
never know what they're looking for.
Exactly.
And you would find out that like you're probably an actor in your mid-30s, but you kind of sell yourself as somebody who's late 20s, which is a
Yeah.
completely different look.
Yeah.
You know, so then when people look at your tape, it's like, I don't believe it. Then it becomes like, oh, maybe the way she interprets our characters or the world is oshlupha ngaphambili.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine, you're playing this, and then there's going to be a story change during the production. Are you going to be able to take that because you see this character in a different way?
Yeah.
So it's always business, really.
Sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, because with that one, that was from me. That question wasn't even from the people because I needed to understand. Because I've been hearing too many times, no, muto SABC, I'm like, I'm an actor. I'm saying muto kacabe
Yeah, yeah.
khulu.
And shame, I think like the industry is shifting to those times of like just cross using actors.
Actors,
You can see an
yeah.
actor on Scandal, you can see the actor
There
on
isn't a lot of work
Generations
for you to
or
be a
whatever.
muntu wa
Yeah, you
somebody.
can't. And the
You
thing is that
can't.
like budgets as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of the things that agents are doing right now, that if you are getting onto a drama series, let's say, then they try to negotiate to get some free time for you to do even a commercial or something,
Yes.
because even the money that they're giving you for the drama is not enough for you, but you have to do it because you need to be on screen,
Yes.
but then it becomes the agent's job to say, actually, instead of having this actor for 60 days, how about we do 40,
Yeah.
so that the other 20 we can try
And
zama
do other
ezinye ama voice
things.
overs,
Yeah.
umuntu asebenze.
Yeah.
Which is great because back in the days, you knew once you're on SABC, uhlala khona lapho.
Sorted. No, kuthi uhlala khona, but you also know you sorted.
Yes.
Financially, you were
Yeah.
good back in the day. It's not the
Yeah.
same
It's
anymore.
not the same
So
anymore.
uhlele endaweni and you know are not financially sorted.
Very
But
true.
kasikho lapho. So
Mm.
my next question would be, there's a lot of, I went to an audition.
Yes.
And one of the forms requested to know about my social media following. Now I am good. I think my social media following is okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm not on millions, but I'm okay. So I was flabbergasted. Hi, Bo. Now I have to put in my social media following. Is that a thing in the industry? As an agent, do you get asked those questions before you take out people's profiles and things like that?
So it's a thing and it's not a thing.
Yes.
So there are specific shows, if I may say, that would need actors that are socially visible. And those kind of shows, you can even see with the kind of actors that they go for. They go
Yeah.
for either it is a professional actor that has just a big following, or they're going for influencers or whatever. And if you look at those kind of shows as well, they're promoted mostly on social media. So it's kind of a business thinking of like, how do we market the show without spending a lot of money that we don't have?
Yes.
So we get actors that have the social following. So if Bugamina has 1 million followers, the day that we're launching the show, she posts on this show.
Yeah.
Already we're a step ahead with the
Sorted.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then it becomes disadvantage to certain people who are just like, I'm an actor now. Like I don't have time to be posting
And there
on
are
Twitter.
a lot of great
And there
actors.
are. And I mean, we've been having a lot of conversation in the industry with the industry peers to try to see how do you quantify the fact that a person that has 1 million followers, those numbers translate to the viewership of the show. Because also there are little things and weird things about followers. Sometimes it could be like, let's say I'm just like a slave queen.
Yeah.
It's like older people,
Yeah.
old men following me.
Exactly.
Then it doesn't really translate. Are they gonna watch
they have
my
no
show?
interest in watching
They
what you're
don't
doing.
care about what I'm
Exactly.
acting as. They want
Yeah.
to see my bikini
Yeah.
and whatever on
That is
Instagram.
the
So
pictures
it's
you
it's a
post,
weird
yeah.
thing, but I can't say that it's not happening because it is happening. They have their own reason. It's just unfortunate that other people get to be sidelined by those things, because then if he's just an actor who's minding their own business and you don't care about social media, then what must happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. And to be fair, it was an advert.
Mm.
And it was my first time experiencing that. I was like, hi, Bo, it's an actual thing. It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
How yourself, how are you finding the industry?
Oh, the industry is
As an actor? As an agent, how are you finding it? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions about the agency, but
Yeah.
as an actor, as yourself, how are you finding the space? Is it growing? Is it going on the positive direction or the negative direction?
So there is a lot of things happening in terms of like productions, as in like local productions, international productions. But there is also like what works as an actor for which production, right? So you find out like now there's a new multi-choice show that has come out, but it needed people that sing. You see, and
Yeah.
then it's like then taking you back to like your Rhythm City times. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you had to sing, you had to be a triple threat,
Yeah.
which is kind of like, I think actors need to be constantly working on their craft so that the next person is different to
You know, I'm laughing. Can't sing to save my life. Even if I wanted to be that person, I
Yeah.
can't.
You know, like we just finished shooting Outlaws now.
Yeah.
I was creative producer on it, and the kind of actors they needed for this show, because it's very deep Sutu, very deep isiZulu, but it doesn't end there. You need to know stage combat. Kuyaliwa lapayana, they use guns, they use stick fighting, they ride horses and
Yeah.
whatever. You can't just be an actor. What I mean, so I think the industry is going in the right direction. I just think that the actor agent relationship should be also refined, as in like you kind of have to be prepared for certain things that are not even there. So if you know that Shaka Zulu is coming and Ngumzulu Khulumi Zulu, what is that thing that will make Bomb come to you and say, be on the show?
Yes.
You know, does your agent have pictures that depict you as a typical Zulu person, or you have a suit and tie and the production won't take you serious for that show?
Yeah.
So you kind of need to place yourself as well with, okay, I want to be on Generations, you know, it's smart and nice and whatever.
Yeah.
I want to be on Outlaws, it's deep Sutu, it's deep KZN and Zulu,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's also prep. For me as an actor, I've literally like, I'm okay with being typecast. Well, I think because now I've really tapped back into like, I'm just going to do behind the scenes as my main thing.
Oh.
So when a role comes and they say it's a guy from Nigeria, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
I get
It's
you.
a guy from Zim, I'm gonna do it.
You're fine
And
with this.
and the thing is that like as much as I had a problem with it, I also
Yeah.
realized that I was part of a niche market because there aren't many Zim actors in South Africa. And the ones that are there, they're either older than me
Yeah.
or younger than me. So
Yeah.
if I get a role, I'm going for it.
And you'll do it.
Yes.
I'm at a place, personally, I'm at a place where I'm like, because I find that I'm playing the typical Zulu humble woman. I'm like, girl, I can be on flick too.
You
What you talking
know?
about? Yeah, and like you're saying, Outlaws, I can do action. Actually,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
good with guns if I have to say so myself. You know, these
Yes.
things. I'm like, I can do all of those things.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Before we end our show, we always have a few questions right at the end. And yes, guys, I'm still holding this book. So you better subscribe, like, and comment for me not to have this book in my hand, okay? So the first question is, would you rather always have to sing instead of speaking or dancing wherever you go?
Wow.
So instead of speaking, would you dance or sing?
I'd rather dance.
You'd rather
actually.
dance. Are you a good dancer?
I would like to think that I'm a good dancer.
I feel you. I feel you. Rather than singing,
No. Ngizobhimba.
Most embarrassing childhood memory.
I had not seen my best friend for the longest time, which changed schools, and now we're having like a little reunion in the garden. I was sitting on the chair. As I am telling my story, I fell. I fell on my back and I felt so embarrassed. This is my best friend who I haven't seen in forever. You're excited to be in this space.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my...
How did they react?
I don't know. I think they didn't think much of it. It's just like me in my head.
Yeah, you were just
because
like,
I had planned how it's gonna be, how prim and proper I'm gonna be. All of a sudden I'm falling. You know what I mean?
And the third one is, if you could swap lives with any fictional character for a day, who would it be and why?
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Yes.
Why?
Firstly, I like these sci-fi characters. I like Maleficent. There's always the good side and the bad side.
Yeah.
And always I can fly to wherever I want at any time.
Very fast, very quick, no traffic.
Thank you.
I feel you. What's your go-to karaoke song if you were to do karaoke?
Yo, I lay my love on you, which is by Westlife.
Mhm.
I'm from that era of boy
Same here.
bands.
I feel you. I'm a Benz.
Yes.
Yes, with the
You know,
yeah.
yay.
What's your superpower? What's your superpower, real or imaginary?
Ah, yo, what a question. Superpower, I think I'm just a genuine person. So I think I am who I am. I
Yes.
always announce myself. I think even today when we met, I was like, this is who I am. This is what goes on with
Yeah.
me. That's just me. I'm an
Yeah.
open book. And I'm also a person that even if somebody thinks I'm that other person, I
Yeah.
can still open up to them to just give them a side of me. Um, that's the real side.
That's the real side. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And your next one is, what's the pettiest reason you won't date someone?
Whew, people that do not have vision and direction.
That's your pettiest reason. You're like,
Yeah, I think because I've been in my relationship with entertainment people
Yeah.
that it's either we're waking up together for cool time or whatever, or
Yeah.
maybe you're doing a certain business. If I don't see that happen, it might be a me thing, but kumele kuvukwe. Yeah, why are you sleeping? Why
Exactly. Exactly. That is very petty, though. That's petty,
Yeah.
but I feel you.
Yes.
I feel you. And the last one is, how would you like to be remembered?
I'd like to be remembered as that person that was part of change in the entertainment industry. I think I speak for a lot of people that are in the industry that are not making it, but wish that they are, opportunities for them to. I'm literally that guy, and people think that I'm not.
Yeah.
That if you call me and say, "Obey, I want to ask about this," I
Yeah.
literally answer you, or I send you to the right people and whatever. And I just want to help because Nami, when I was starting out, I got the help.
Yeah.
I was knocking doors. Bayazazi, oh man, that they were busy with me. It's like, hey, Obey, uyahlupha," but it made me to be the person that I am.
Yeah.
And also to just have a heart to say, help other people because they might be your bosses actually.
And this
Yeah.
industry is exactly like that.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. I think it's very true what you're saying, Guti. You try and be there for other people. You try
Yeah.
and listen and you take that call. And I
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
Guti. You actually do take my calls. Ngiyabonga. Thank you for coming
Ngiyabonga.
through
Thank
today.
you so much for having me.
Ngiyabonga. So guys, thank you. That was Obey. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I won't be getting a lot of these questions. You guys can just come to this podcast or share with your family and friends that want to know more about acting, about the industry. Nginithanda ngothando luka love. Mwah. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Obey.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for staying this long, for liking, subscribing, and sharing with your family and friends. You can follow me on TikTok, which is bukamina_fanele, and also on my Instagram, which is bukamina_fanele. Come back again in my next episode. Nginithanda ngothando luka-love.
Start warning me.
Shooting Unscripted Moments. This is episode 1 on the, what's the date today?
Something.
Second. In 3, 2.
One. Oh, snap. Hello, guys. Hello, good people. Welcome back to another show of Unscripted Moments.
We can start there. Alright, cool. Let's start again. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next thing is, once you have signed someone into an agent. Yo, that is loud. Sorry.
Another practice downstairs.
I think the other door is open. Yeah, today go.
Kupisi.
Go busy today.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, that's better.